Welcome to the Up and Up podcast with the Kokomo Post. We're so excited this week. We have Pastor Ned in the house. We're going to learn a lot today, and we're hoping that you are learning about the nonprofits that are available to you in Kokomo and all the resources that are available for you and your family. That's the reason we're here today, is to bring about a new resource to our community within the last couple years, right, Pastor Ned?
That's right, November of 2021.
Wow, that is recent, but you guys have really made some strides in the community. So tell me a little bit about who you are, what you represent, and why.
So my name is Ned Sutherland, and we are in Rushville, Indiana, which Kokomo is our suburb. So we're just about 8 miles from here, maybe 10 miles. And we're with the Turnabout Community Resource Center. And we're helping people struggling with addictions, mental health issues, depression, suicide awareness, just a venue where people can come and find help.
That's amazing, and something that's very near and dear to my heart. Tell me why you really started to do this.
Well, Sherry, you're a part of that. In 2017, our community just had a rash of overdose deaths in Howard County. And in 2018, we had a community conversation in Rushville at the Jeff Stout Community Center. And there was 46 people from our community of about 1,000 that met there that night, and some from the county. Paul Wyman was there. Jeff Stout was there in those days. And we talked about the needs of Rushville and how that the community could come together to meet those needs. And we had a whiteboard, and we asked people to take Post-it notes and write down on the Post-it note there what they thought was the greatest need for our town of Rushville. And to my surprise, the thing that rose to the top about 35% of the time was the need to help those struggling with addictions. So a lot of them are able to function, but they're working at addicts or struggling with alcohol. And so we, when that came up as the number one need, we decided as the church, as the community, we started Rushville Community Outreach to try to meet those needs. And as a result of that, we were looking for an addiction program. And also about right in that time, because of the overdose, Turning Point system of care in Kokomo started. And I remember I was there for some reason, maybe part of it, when Paul Wyman announced their first employee, Sherry Rahl. So from the very start, at the time we were with an addiction program, a Reformers Unanimous. And so we started with Turning Point, working with them in Rushville, as that western side of the county, also the 3-county area. So we started in 2018 with RCO and have continued from there.
How many attend the support group on Friday night that you did start, that is a recovery program?
We have some low nights, but generally it's from 20 to 35, and that counts workers and kids and the different programs that we run.
I love that. I love that. It's a real family atmosphere. So if you've not been to Rushville on Friday nights, that is one of the support groups, and you're certainly welcome to go to the website. If you could give the website, that would be great, so that they can maybe inquire about that.
Well, it's Freedom That Lasts in Rushville, but the website I'd go to is Turnabout, because we're with Turnabout Community Resource Center, and then those other resources are listed there, as well as the many other places in Kokomo and Howard County that are reaching out to help those struggling. So we're working with Celebrate Recoveries. We have an AA meeting at Turnabout.
That's awesome.
We have different programs there, different times of the week. So Turnabout would be the place, that the website to look at, and that's Turn-About, and then you'd find us there. We're in the process of building that, but we are on Facebook. and our website will be rolling out a new one in
yes.
just a few weeks here. So.
Which is going to be great, and we'll definitely let you know when that hits. I know that with Turnabout, part of the reason that you created that out in Rushville is transportation issues do exist. And so trying to get into the Kokomo area, to get into the support groups, sometimes can be challenging for families. So with that family atmosphere, Turnabout has a location, a building now that they are housed in, which has multiple groups for women, if it's kiddos, if it's teens, they have it all. And so very proud to be a part of that, sit on the board of that. But it is really neat to see the faith aspect, Pastor, that you have brought to the table with Turnabout. I've seen you believe for many things with Turnabout being very short in existence, but you've accomplished many things. Can you tell us a few of those accomplishments?
Well, so it is a venue for both faith-based as well as others. If somebody in our community is struggling, don't necessarily want a church answer or a Christ answer, we want to help them where they are, begin the relationship. Ultimately, is the faith-based that we are, we believe that it's a two-step program, not opposed to any of the other step programs. But number one step is come to Christ, and step number two is see step number one. But we do think that Christ changes the life, and we work with all kinds of programs, both secular and the other, but we really want to build relationships with people, because I think it starts by caring about people. And as we care about them, we help them along.
That's right.
And
love is the ultimate.
You asked about successes, and
yes.
I went on a tangent, but yeah, we've had several. In fact, from that first night we met with the community conversation, one of the folks that was there was struggling at the time with addiction, and she wanted to get a program started in Rushville for that reason. And so we started, and through the process, she came out of her alcoholism. She actually worked with Turning Point System of Care with you for a number of years.
Yes.
And she's helping us out in Rushville. So it's kind of cool the way people who have struggled come out of it and begin helping others.
I love that. And the story of Christy is an amazing story. And I've had the great opportunity of speaking even at the state level with her and sharing her talents and her gifts. And she's so good with helping coach others. So I encourage you to step into the Turnabout office, ask for Christy, ask for Paul, and we have many others on staff there that can really help you. Where is it located out in Rushville?
So we are just 2 blocks north of the flashing light. There's one light in Rushville. You can't get lost. Across the street from the United Methodist Church, kitty corner to Town Hall. We haven't been there a year yet, and we're thankful for the location. And just this week, we had someone on Tuesday night, had an AA group meeting who, because of a need in their life, walked in.
Wow.
And that's what we need. That's why it's important it's in Rushville and not in Kokomo. And they were able to begin that relationship and offer hope and help.
And that's the biggest part of it. I know that there was one pivotal story out of Turnabout that I thought was something spectacular that happened. And it was an awful tragedy that happened. But this lady, there was I believe it was a Chrysler worker that passed away and overdosed and died. And then Paul Drazich, the executive director, had her come in, and she had not worked and had children, and now had to become the provider of that whole household in the loss of her husband. And, you know, children are hugely affected when they lose one of their family members, especially being a parent, and then that parent being under duress to financially step up, make a way, that's a challenging situation. So we were able to partner together and really begin to make some things happen in that lady's life and that family.
And that was a community. We had the township trustee as well as several entities. We also had a fire where we worked with the Red Cross to help people. And the community of Rushville, 3 weeks on Easter Sunday, had a house burned down. And just the community came together and helping them. So it's wonderful to have a community where there's just the awareness of all the people involved in that. So
I love Rushville in the fact that they do care for everybody, not only just Kokomo folks, but they care for their own out there in Rushville. And that's the reason I wanted to bring to the show Turnabout, so that people knew in Rushville and the surrounding area there that those people really care and you guys take care of people. How do you measure your impact in the community with what you're doing?
One life at a time. But I do think one of the big keys there was the churches coming together. Because in this case, we have 5 pastors that are on the board from 5 different churches in the community, 6 counting me. And so they come together financially, working together to support Turnabout. And that's a big win, just to have them. There's no fences between us. We're working together to accomplish the work. So our mission, my mission, is the community of Rushville. Just like Paul went to the cities of Ephesus or Corinth. His mission was the city, not sowing seed in the church.
Yeah.
And so we just work together to help meet the needs of the community.
I think that's absolutely awesome. And the other thing I want to do is shout out to Western School, because Western School Corporation, along with the churches and a lot of the business owners in the community, have continued to partner together to bring unity inside of Rushville. So hats off, really, to Rushville and what you guys are doing out there. I think it's great when a community can collaborate together and make good things happen. Tell me a couple stories about people that have received freedom in their life.
Well, we have one guy that he's been clean now 2 years, but on a Saturday in the month of March, a couple years ago, he came into work. He was in trouble at work, had been talked to his boss several times by not getting enough hours in to get his job done needed for the next stage in the process. So he came in on a Saturday, realized that he just couldn't do it, went to his boss thinking he'd be fired, told him, hey, boss, I'm struggling with addiction. I'm sorry, but whatever. And his boss said, I'll tell you what, we'll send you to Home of Grace in Mississippi. So he got on the phone to myself and our executive director, and we called Sherry Rahl and Joey Bennett, and Joey Bennett at Valley of Grace. And the next, he went home the weekend. The next week he was at Detox, and by the end of the week he was on his way to Home of Grace. That was 2 years ago. He's been clean ever since. He's now on the music team at our church.
That's good.
He works 2 days at Valley of Grace.
Wow.
And he's a ministry leader of the music at our church as well. So
my goodness. So here's this productive citizen beforehand functioning in addiction. The boss actually put his job on hold, did it for him really until he was able to get back. And now he's a worship leader and working at Valley of Grace and doing his full-time job.
Yes.
Woo! I'd say that's pretty fantastic. And
and he's tired.
I know this guy, but he's still got a lot of energy, and I've met him, and he is amazing young man, and he's going to go pretty far in life. I'm just amazed at the resilience of humans and what they can do. You know, once they get free from their captivity, and they're able to actually get passion for something and then dive in, whether it's a worship leader, a youth leader, sewing, teaching. It's amazing what people can do. And so you're looking right here, right now, about what could I do? And what you can do is you can volunteer for one of these nonprofits. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of satisfaction in volunteer. In fact, the person who actually edited this cast is a volunteer. And she dedicates her time to children and making sure that they learn work ethic. And we're really proud of that. So I thank you very much, Pastor Ned, for coming on and representing Turnabout today. We'll be back right after this episode. The episode is funded by the Community Foundation of Howard County. Special thanks to the Hunt Family Fund, which was used to fund this grant. And now back to the Up and Up podcast. Welcome back to the Up and Up podcast with Kokomo Post. Hey, we are here today with one of the Up crew, and I am so excited that Kai's here with me today because this young lady is an entrepreneur. Am I saying that right? Yeah, I think I am. And you have started a business, young lady. What is this all about?
My business is called Shark on the Hunt.
Ooh.
It has a lot of helpful services. For instance, dog walks, $10 for a larger dog and $5 for a smaller dog. Car washes, $20 per car, and lawn mowing, $20 per yard.
My goodness, that's a deal. I'll tell you what, you might be getting some big tips off of that because those are priced right, folks. The reason that I brought Kai on the show today is because with the UP program, we really believe in the mission of teaching work ethic, life skills, and then assisting them with their education. Sometimes you need a little extra tutoring in a subject or two, don't you?
Yeah.
I know. And so we do that for free at the UP program. So Kokomo Urban Outreach is the name of the program. Kai, how long have you been with the UP program?
A little less than a year.
Okay. What has that meant to you?
It's meant a lot to me. I've learned on how to talk to people and how to verbalize my emotions and just talk in general without having a full-on panic attack.
Wow, that's amazing. And look, she's on live TV like right now doing a podcast and you're doing great. I'm so amazed. And you know what? This young lady has the most beautiful smile in the whole wide world. It's worth $1 million. I'm telling you, folks, if you need her services, she is readily available. And you can see on Facebook, we've got that posted under the Kokomo Urban Outreach Facebook. If you need her services, there's a phone number there. Now, tell me a little bit about how old you are. What school do you go to? You know, that kind of stuff.
I'm 14, and I go to St. Joan of Arc Catholic School, but I'm changing schools soon.
Awesome. And do you have some goals for the future as far as education goes, or what's your thoughts in the future?
I don't know. I want to do something to where I can be around sharks because I'm just a little obsessed.
Okay. So you're one of those Shark Week people, aren't you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. How did I know? So with the program, do you go out and do work? And if so, what kind of work is it that you do?
It's all kinds of things. Sometimes we're raking up or moving sticks. Sometimes we're pulling weeds, raking leaves. It's honestly just a bunch of different stuff. And then during the winter, or January, February, we do classes.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. I was going to say, what's some of the classes that you've been in with Kokomo Urban Outreach?
I've only been in one class, and it was Makerspace. It was basically arts and crafts, and I loved it.
Yes. You know how to run a Cricut machine?
Yes. My mom has taught me.
Have you ever tried to run a Cricut machine? It's not easy, people. This lady must be smart because Cricuts have got me confused. So what has been some of the most enjoyable experiences that you've had with Kokomo Urban Outreach, Corrine, and some of the other staff there?
Well, Corrine is like a dad to me. I never really had one when I was younger, so that's really amazing because, I finally have a father figure.
Wow.
But also, I went from having, one friend, and now I have at least 9.
Oh, my goodness.
I went from having basically none to, in my opinion, so many.
And you guys have a lot of fun. I seen last night you guys were goofing around, having a good old time.
Yeah.
Somebody bought their cosplay outfit and was showing off what her talent was.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
That's my best friend.
Oh, that's so cool. What have you learned about yourself?
I've learned that instead of being a follower, I'm more of a leader, and I don't like to be told that I can't do something, because if I'm told that, it's just going to make me want to do it more.
And you know Kareem's watching, and he's going to use that.
Oh, Lord.
I know Kareem, yeah. He's like, okay, I'm going to tell her she can't do that, and then she will.
No.
What advice would you have for the kids in the program or anybody that is looking to join our program?
Well, I'd say don't think too much about it. It's honestly going to be fine. Like, you'll have some jitters at first, but there's a bunch of really great people there that will help you get over it.
That's awesome. That's good. Is there any other stories that you'd like to share about what's going on?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I know that you're going to go on to do great things, and I'm really amazed at your resilience, and I'm very proud that you've been able to overcome some of the obstacles that have been thrown at you in your life. But I can tell, ladies and gentlemen, that she's going to go a long way. And you know what? That is what Kokomo Urban Outreach is about. That's why the UP program is called the UP program, because you have unlimited potential inside of you, and we're seeing that come to fruition. So I'm so excited to bring this Up and Up podcast to you. Continued next week, we'll have another guest.